work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work.
Fall in.
Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Trey. And you're rocking this morning with E2G Sports Network presents First Formation Morning Sports Talk. You hear the intro, the inso, fall in as we get to talking about some of the top sports things that had happened last night. Y'all missed us for a second Monday morning. Had some stuff to do, but in any case, plenty to talk about from the weekend. Some stuff in which we missed a little bit. So as my compadres tap in this morning, and those in the comments, is going to be plenty to talk about, to engage, do things a little different. What's good, Wes Leslie? What's going on, brother? Glad to have information this morning. So it's definitely been some interesting things going on in or around the NFL, NBA, college, World Cup, just about anything which we could talk about. Of course, I was down and out over the weekend for the most part. It's no denying, but I'm back up today. I'm exuberant, ready to go. You know what? All some of the things which happened over the weekend, I'm not even concerned about. It is what it is. I mean, over the course of the week, started out a little shaky. After getting off, of course, hours later, as we know, the Trojans end up losing and eliminating themselves. You know, that old moniker of you control your own destiny, in which the destiny, I'm not going to say destiny, but they was in control of their own. And of course, it became what it is. I did see the Bucks come back last night, Leslie, interestingly enough. But definitely, we're going to talk about that. We're going to get to that, I assure you. If it's anything having to do with that old pigskin or football, we're going to definitely get in and got to talk to that. Good morning, good sir. How are you doing?
What's going on? WGO, WGO, WGO. What's going on? How y'all living this morning, man? What's good, man?
Hey, what's good? You sound a little
I'm hurting, man.
wore out there, guy.
Man, I'm hurting. I am hurting. My back is killing me right now. That's why I missed the show yesterday. I was laid up.
Well, I even tapped in yesterday because I was out and about still and running and ripping and running, so didn't even
Oh, okay.
get down yesterday. So this is the first opportunity to expand and
Oh,
get
this week.
everything out over the weekend for what happened over the last couple of
Mm.
days. So
Oh, okay.
how was your event on over the weekend?
Oh man, the event, man. For those that don't know and may not have any idea, for those that don't pay close attention to what we be talking about on here. Yeah, we had an amazing weekend this past weekend in Nashville, Tennessee. We crossed our national line Kappa and the beta line for Syro Chi Military Sorority Incorporated. So man, shouts out to them. What up, Eric? What's good, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? So yeah, we we had an amazing time out there, man. The weather was a little chilly, but for the up.
As we get Bishop back. What's good, Eric? What's going on, fam? What's good with you, man? Uh, how was your weekend? I'm very sure you was good due to the fact of y'all got a couple of y'all got a W, was able to y'all did get a W. So your boy Jefferson talking a lot of ish. So That of course, Leslie.
I don't know what just happened. Yeah, I have no idea what just happened.
I'm glad you ain't had nothing going on in the background for the most part. You was just reviewing everything like, oh, it's came back. Oh goodness. Uh, oh, that's how you get down, Eric. Y'all used to it. I see you, Leslie. I'm not going to put the carriage before the horse just yet, Leslie. I'm going to let that marinate for a second and come back. Uh, and bringing that back for the most part. But AD, saying, doing this thing the other night, 55 points. Uh, Slowly but surely, they make working their thing. Here this dude go with this. You should have just left the background the way that's evidently is saying something. That's why the background eliminated itself from the stream. So that's why here he comes back with this. And look, see, that's what look at. And then that's the one that eliminated itself. You want to bring that one back. See,
let's go. We gotta keep it, keep it, keep it classy, baby. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. I thought I had something else. But anyway, how y'all, you know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. Don't act brand new. I don't even know. It's just, oh man, I don't know. How was your weekend, Trey? Even though you didn't get to, do what you wanted to do this weekend. I like this one. Better. Let's go with this one.
Some things
yeah, there we go. That's about right there. It's only fitting that number 11 be up there.
Do you just go and find these things and just have them
they
on
come
deck
to me,
ready
man.
to go?
They just come to me, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. They just come to me. You know what I'm saying? Just like these dubs come in this fantasy. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
Here you go with this.
The highest score this past week in our what is it? What was it in the?
You talking about which one? What's good, Commissioner? What's going on? Good morning.
What is it? In NFL fantasy, I think I had the highest score.
You probably did. Was it what was
152? Yeah, it was NFL fantasy. I was 152. Huh? You need your coffee? Are you good? I do need my coffee though. Please. Yeah. Is your Eagles going to win it all? That's the question. Absolutely. For all these haters out here, that is the question. That is the question at hand.
That's the question. That's not the answer that you gave. I could assure.
Ooh, you cannot assure that. How can you
assure that?
How?
I would sit here today. What's today? December
6th.
The 6th. Roku's Day. Y'all know what it is.
He didn't even know.
Roku's Day.
He trying to throw it in now. He didn't even know,
Roku's Day. Matter of fact, I know I have a jacket.
Look, now you're gonna go try and find this Roku stuff.
I keep a jacket readily available for just a certain situation. Roku's Day. Y'all know what it is. Roku's Day. You know what I'm saying? Roku's Day. Check this out. So on this day,
on that I gotta give him mad love because I used to be a Roku too. So
on this day, the December 6th, Roku's Day, I will say that, and this is going to be a very memorable day because it's a day of the Roku. That, and no shade whatsoever.
He say that, but here we go.
Philadelphia is not going to be the Super Bowl champions.
Okay. Who's going to be so since they're not going to be, who is going to be?
I don't know. I'm still working through that. But working through that. But I don't think it's going to be Philadelphia.
Okay. Y'all heard it here first. Make sure y'all check the timeline. Check the timestamp it. He said it on the 6th. Oh, that's that part, Commissioner Myers. Yeah,
y'all heard because I know y'all, especially where Eric at. Especially Eric, I can see it now. Hey Trey, I remember on Roku Day, huh? Yeah. So yes, Eric, Roku Day.
It's crazy. He's a Roku, but his name is Trey.
Yeah, it is. That is so crazy. You know what? Let's say true story as we get ready to get into it. Y'all know we tend to say anything's on topic here. So really, what I was,
Huh?
I don't think it would be them boys. I don't think it's going to be that at all, Commissioner. So it's just one of those things. But true story, right? When I was as I was going through, I was hoping that I could have kept my namesake and you know what I'm saying and wore it as my number. In which anything in which if I play sports or something like that, I always tend to wear the number 3. Of course, like I said, is my name or some variation of that 333, so on and so forth. So I was hoping that I would have been able to sport my name for sport my name, but of course that wasn't came out. It would have took a lot at the for in which
Thank you,
my mind
Leslie.
pushed me down. Push me down. So that's you know what I'm saying. So I just have to go with the Roku moniker. And you know what I'm saying, Trey is my namesake. So it just happened that way.
Boo. Let him live, Eric. Let him live. Let him have
Yeah,
it, man. Let him have it, man.
Eric, you were 14. Come on, man.
That part. That part.
Dolphins about to surprise everybody though.
I don't think so, bro. I don't think they're gonna surprise people as people anticipate. I mean, Dolphins are making a great run.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a few teams, in my opinion, that could probably make it to the Super Bowl, and most of them are out in the NFC, of course. Of course, that's Dallas. That's us. That's Kansas City or Kansas City AFC, right? Yeah, Kansas AFC.
Yes.
So Kansas City, they could make it. Minnesota definitely can make it. And then after that, it's kind of in the air. For me. You know what I'm saying? You a Cinco, Eric?
I thought he was a 14.
No, I think he's Cinco.
Yeah, I think he 1-4. Or is he a Cinco? You a Cinco, Eric? I'm trying to remember. You know what? Yeah.
He said Cinco. Yeah, I think he is a Cinco. I feel like I've seen his jacket before. Say 15. Say 5 on it. Yeah, man. Those are the teams in what. Yeah, see, he's a Cinco. Yeah, those are the teams in which I see right now that's possibly could make it to the San Francisco. I forgot San Fran. It's gonna be hard for them though. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for them. San Fran. The reason why I say us, and I'm gonna be honest, we've got that loss out of our. We got that blemish on our record now. That's what we needed. If we were still undefeated, I would be real suspect. But the fact of the matter that we got that one blemish, that one loss, we on a whole new focus. You see how these boys played again? Did you see that Derrick Henry didn't do nothing? Nothing. Zero, hero. He
So
did
is that
nothing.
true?
Nothing, bro. Nothing. He couldn't do anything. And then of course, AJ was gonna show out for the people. He had to show his former team that he's that dude. What up, Key? We ain't seen you in a while. There you go, Key. Say that. Say less.
Yeah, say less.
She know what I mean by that. She know what I mean.
Say less.
Good morning.
Don't. Matter of fact, don't. Good morning, Key. That's all you need to say. Good morning. We don't say it. That's saying less. Good morning. That's all we need. We can even take. We got work. Got you going. We understand that. That's all we needed. We ain't need no more than that.
He ain't do nothing for the last 4 weeks. Oh, who you talking about? Derrick Henry?
Yeah, Derrick Henry. Like,
he did.
You know what? I'm gonna let him eat. I'm gonna let him live with that, Eric. I wasn't gonna sit up and bust his bubble and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? They ain't did nothing in the last couple of weeks.
Big about 2 weeks ago.
Nah, Derrick been on. I ain't gonna say he been shelved, but he been. I think he got a little short yardage stuff and made a bang the
end zone.
Yeah, end zone a couple of times.
You sure 2 weeks ago he had like 2 touchdowns?
That was about it, but he wasn't. It was no yardage because he was short. He was used on a goal line and short.
You just saying short yardage for?
Yeah, I think it was against Kansas City.
What team was that? He had that big run and fumbled almost right before the end zone. That huge run.
I think that was in.
You already know, Key. We already know. You already know, Key. You know when it comes
Just
to
wait, Key.
you
You
know,
just
Key.
missed. You just
You know,
missed what
Key.
I said. Philly will not be Super Bowl champions this year.
Yeah, 60. Oh, okay.
So yeah. So I mean, it's it's going to. But yeah, I was going to let him go ahead and go with that. Eric is like, you know what? Yeah,
He was gonna
okay.
let me go ahead and go
Yeah,
with that.
go
That's
ahead,
what
go
he
ahead.
was gonna
Yes, just saying, go ahead. Listen, I was gonna listen and be like, okay, of course. But before we get into that, really, Bishop
do.
unexpectedly what came about in which I wasn't really expecting when we come to a couple of things actually when you look at like I was saying as you was coming in that of course I was a little down and out after Friday night. Um,
Oh, were you?
yeah, but
Oh,
this is what I recognize in which I'm hoping it
mm,
gets rectified and we figure it out. Like,
mm.
why didn't Mr.
You know,
Riley?
I didn't see the game, so tell me about it. Go ahead.
Here this you go.
No, I didn't. I didn't see no matches with him.
Why didn't Mr. Riley? We were cooking up
Go ahead.
up 17 points. I mean up
Mm-hmm.
14 points
This is against Utah, right?
against Utah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
First quarter,
Mm-hmm.
it looked like what I'm saying it was just going to be a rout,
A
right?
blowout. I heard.
Yes.
That was word on the street.
Then
Mm-hmm.
Caleb gets injured.
Oh, really? What happened?
I'm not sure what it was that happened. I even go
Oh,
back and look at it. Like whenever my team loses, I don't technically, especially big events
you don't
like
do
that.
you
I
don't do
try to do my.
research. You let it
I
be.
don't do no research. I don't go loud. I avoid ESPN. I avoid social
All of
media.
that, huh?
Like
Yeah.
I don't even look. So and I still haven't looked. It
Mm-hmm.
takes me usually about a week or two before I even try to
Mm-hmm.
re-engage.
I can't say nothing about that because I feel the same way. I haven't. You know what? I have not looked at nothing from the Sooners since that third
Well,
loss.
they are. They did get in the bowl. They are a bowl.
We
They're
are.
both. Yeah,
We speak,
yeah.
which I have up. Well, we'll talk about the bowls, the 2020, 2020. The bowls have come out. So
Okay.
we'll give you a list of all the bowls for those that maybe want to participate or whatever. Attend. Finish though, Trey. My bad. Go ahead.
So yeah, so I didn't go back and look, but what I do know is, of course, he did. He went and he was injured. It was
Yeah.
obviously you. I watched the game. He was. It
Mm-hmm.
was obviously. It was obvious that he was Ellen, but in all that, he stayed in the game. So I was sitting up thinking myself, like, what is more important at this
Are
point?
you questioning? Are you? So it sounds as though Trey, and help me, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds real close to me as though you're questioning Lincoln Riley's um, judgment on whether or not he should have allowed his so-called. And let me do this for y'all real quick. To allow his so-called um, Heisman Trophy candidate finalist to continue to play. Now, I'm gonna leave this up for a second, Trey, because I want you to see this Heisman Trophy finalist, and now finish what you're saying in regards to Lincoln Riley.
So yes, he is a Heisman Trophy finalist, in which
Okay.
I was wondering, was that playing in the fact to at the point to where Utah was clicking, like it was meant Utah was manhandling, they was blowing them off the ball. It was reminiscent to that in which I seen when USC played Texas in the national championship, and it was just the corners and the DBs was not big enough to keep up with Vince Young.
Mhm.
So, and not saying that Rising is a Vince Young or a case like that, but it was actually their defense was punching them in the mouth. And they, saying what worked was the fact to keep them on honest during the first quarter in which they were rolling. They had USC had them moving quickly and all that type of stuff. At the point in which Caleb Williams got injured, I think Caleb is going to win the Heisman, honestly.
Really?
But Max Dugan, as I see Anthony Price clicking, what's good? Max Dugan is nice.
Very. And did you see that comeback that they just had?
Yes, Max Dugan is nice.
That comeback it shows a great, and they're
So,
still
in my opinion,
undefeated.
and then you got to take
They're
into
still
consideration.
undefeated. They're still undefeated.
You got to take in consideration. But I mean, but what does the Heisman go to? And I think that's what the thing was. I think Coach Riley
Mhm.
kept
Absolutely. That's why I put that up. That's why I put that up there.
He kept him in the game
He's a
to
finalist. You cannot
pad, not even a pad, because he didn't do he had some moments, but I think those
I heard
moments
he still threw for 300 some yards.
Yeah, he had some moments. Like he made it a fight. He did. He made it a fight. He made it to a degree he made it a game, and then it just it was just some stuff that he just couldn't do anymore. It's obvious that he had lower extremity issues.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, it's obvious that he made.
Was it a back? What do you know that much? What his injury was?
I think it was a leg. I think it was a leg injury.
Oh, okay.
So so basically that. So when you look at it, I was like, man, this is I'm wondering is Coach picking in, because as I read and seen stuff where he was like he wouldn't let me. That's like me saying my kid wouldn't let me punish him, or my kid wouldn't let me send him to bed. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? If I sit up and say, go sit down over there, your night is done, that's what it is. It ain't there's no reason to sit up and go.
But at the same token, though, Trey, and Anthony Price, that's a good question, right? Is the Heisman in NCAA the same as the MVP for the NFL?
Yes.
In a way it is.
But to a degree.
To a degree. Thank you.
Actually, I guess you could say that. I see it as the best player.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? And this is why I say it's different, and why to a degree, because MVP in the NFL 9 times out of 10, it's a quarterback. Whereas with the Heisman, it's somewhat similar to that, but we've seen more other players outside of the quarterback position win Heisman than we have seen win less quarterbacks. Other than quarterbacks,
other players up for the position, regardless of what the position is, and all that type of stuff. Right. So it's the best player it's the best player for the MVP.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, it still comes with the same rhetoric that everything comes. Is it on a winning team? Are we seeing MVPs? I mean, are we seeing Heisman Trophy winners from lackluster teams?
Mm-hmm.
And so then, which brings up had Caleb Williams won the game, I think the Heisman would be
solidified.
Yeah, solidified. Although he did put up a good effort to say that he is deserving of it after that, even with his extremities. But also I look at it as even in that same token, in that same breath, he didn't get it done. He was in the game and he didn't get it done. In-state it's like we don't want to sit up and talk about, because if he would have won the game, it would be all this, everything, a hoopla about him winning and him being down and out, and willed his will back to put USC back in that would have been the conversation.
But this is my thing though, Trey. I feel like Lincoln Riley kept him in the game for 2 reasons. One, like I stated, he's a Heisman Trophy finalist. 2, that game could have determined if y'all was going to be in the top 4. He had to, bro. I get it was an injury, and I know you're shaking your head because
he was hobbled. He wasn't like he got away. It was some plays it was some plays in which he should have been. He was hobbled. Like he was. It's like the whole everyone. Stevie Wonder could have seen it. That's how bad it was.
Who's y'all backup?
His name is,
doesn't have
and that is the other thing. But I'm looking at
is he a freshman? The backup is a freshman.
I don't think he's a freshman, or he might be. He was a top player. I mean,
but he might be a freshman, and he might not want to put that.
Yeah, it might not. But I'm looking at even a mediocre.
That was a conference game, right? That was a conference championship game, right?
Yeah,
that would have been a lot on the freshman.
So it would. I mean, sometimes look at Cordell Jones. Cordell Jones hadn't played but 2 games, and he would have won a national championship for Ohio State. So but he wasn't a freshman. But in-state is, when his time came, he stepped up, and that's what I think could have happened. Additionally, it just didn't happen. He didn't even get an opportunity. Like it showed in the third when the USC got the ball back at one point, they had him overhit throwing passes on the side. So I'm thinking like, okay, they're gonna go ahead and get him in.
Who the backup?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Caleb came back again, and he kept coming back. I'm thinking to myself at this point, why is Caleb in the game? And of course, we know
stand fast. It's coming.
Miller Moss is who it was.
Miller Moss. I've heard that name before.
Exactly. Yes, Miller Moss. You have heard the name before. So it's like I'm thinking to myself, like, come on, get Moss in. Like at this point, we need to try. The ideal is we want to get to the national championship,
right?
And then you'll have a month for
Caleb to try and get back.
to recover. Like we need to get, saying we need to sit up in which he was looking good, but it's like slowly but surely everything was going down where they started. It's like they kept on, my opinion, was already at a disadvantage because our running back Travis Dodd was out.
Okay.
But the backup was doing his thing, but they kept running the RPO. They know that Caleb can't run. The RPO isn't working.
There's no
They're
need
not
to try
even
running
worried about Caleb
that,
at this point. They're just smashing the running back. Everything is coming. They're putting the front. Their front is getting through. They're blocking. So the run game was ill effective. So it's like all this is going on. I'm looking. I was like, this isn't working. I was like, at minimum, if you sit up and bring someone else in, because even Caleb trying to sit up and throw the ball, it wasn't being. And then the offense wasn't helping. They was dropping passes. It was just a whole debacle going on, slowly but surely. And then when they started clicking again, it was like, and they was going down. And of course, Caleb, he can't play on his back foot. He went for a gusto. He tried to hit an open tight end on the sideline, but it was baited. He was baited because the safety basically waited, you know what I'm saying, and was actually played him short and came back, got the interception, and that's basically what it was. So, and then that wasn't what ended it, but that's basically that started the leaking. And after that, it was like, it bled out. It was no more what you could do. They just kept pounding the ball, pounding. And my opinion is sometimes an offense can help your defense. In this case, the offense wasn't producing, and the defense was had their backs against the wall, was getting pounded. They had an opportunity to utilize a huge hit on Rising to use to galvanize to get him up on a third down to where he thought he had a first down, and then he got walloped, smacked his helmet off, and all that type of stuff. But there was a holding call. So the holding call basically negated that, and it was just one thing after another. So, but you know what I'm saying? Now, when you talking about that, right? Like I said, if Caleb would have got the dub, I don't think we would have had this conversation. Even though in all
the conversation about the
Heisman. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like now I look at it as if we kept Caleb in for him to get the Heisman, even though we lost and went from number 4 to number 10, and put in a possible thrashing of the Tulane Green Wave in the Cotton Bowl, it might not happen that way. Dugan had a hell of a game. Bennett, I don't know. I don't foresee it.
Dugan, I think up until
I think it's Caleb to lose still. I think
so.
I think Dugan closed the gap.
Thank you. There you go. That's well.
Although they should have had, which they said, depending on when they had their votes in, I think Dugan closed the gap. In which should that game count for the Heisman performance? It's an after season game. It's a postseason game.
Right. It should still count. And I don't even know. That's a good question. I wonder if they even ever count those conference games.
Well, it depends on when the voters get their votes in.
Right. But for me, I truly, and nothing against, I know you probably don't think I'm being biased or whatever, but for me, Dugan, so he pretty much, because again, we got to keep in mind, TCU is still undefeated.
And they're not undefeated, but they're undefeated. They're regular season undefeated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're undefeated.
They're regular season undefeated.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like that, USC only had one loss in the regular season.
Right.
So it's like, but it's kind of like that old thing. Like once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Right.
It's just one of those situations. We can't dismiss the fact of unless the Heisman trophy voters were told to vote prior to the USC game,
right.
Which was the last, because it was the first one. Potentially, they might not have their votes in, or it might have been what it is. But I think it was Caleb to lose at that point. He was just unfortunate. It's not like he was healthy and played a horrific game.
Right? No, not at all.
He was injured and still put up mediocre numbers with an injury, obviously hobbled. So I think that like that grit and grind might propel him to where he's going to be good. But I mean, it's hard to argue. Like at this point, you're looking at 3 CFP quarterbacks. Stroud, who was a front runner for a long time, he got back into the fold. He's a CFP quarterback now.
Which he was one of the finalists last year, right? In that who
I think he was. I can't remember. CJ
Stroud.
I think he was.
It was Stroud and
him, Hutchinson, and
from Alabama.
What's his name? Bryce Young.
Which Bryce won over
Yeah, so it's like, so now they put that back in position. So it's like, then of course CJ Stroud, Dugan, and all that. So it remains to be seen. But Friday we'll get this. But something else I want to talk about real quick, Bishop.
What's up, bro?
Staying in the Pac-12.
Okay.
Deion Sanders. I'm very sure this is probably going to probably spark something, a little something.
I love it.
So
come on, Trey. You knew, like we talked about this, bro. We had to see this coming. Bro.
So
this man then took the HBCU team 2 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, understood. Excuse me. Understand? It is an HBCU. It's not a D1 team.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
It's an FCS.
Thank you. However, coaching is coaching. Skill set is skill set. When you have that much, when you have that much influence on young student athletes, to have people flip from D1 schools to come to a school like Jackson State, to a HBCU, and then come there and come under the tutelage of one of the greatest of all times in DBs, Deion Sanders, you knew that was coming, bro. I did. I knew it was coming. Now, a lot of people were like, oh, for those that don't know, Deion Sanders, the great Deion Sanders, has accepted the challenge of being the head coach for the Colorado Buffalo. He just got, they just did his press conference and everything, I think, on Monday, yesterday?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Over the weekend.
Sunday. Yeah, I think it was Sunday. They did his press conference. He is now the head coach for the Colorado Buffaloes.
But he is still going to coach the
championship game. He is.
Championship, the Celebration Bowl for the HBCUs on the 17th, next Saturday.
Facts. He is. The thing about it, good morning. Let's get that Deion. Absolutely. What's going on, Coach Hunter? The thing about it is, I saw this coming. If you didn't see it coming, I don't know. A lot of people, I do understand why some people didn't want to see it coming, because Deion is very arrogant and very sure of himself. He has that guy will tell you how he feels and won't think less about what you think about him. That's just who Deion is. His game spoke volumes. From the time he came from Florida State with the number 2, coming all the way into the league as number 21. That was 21 in football was like 23 was in basketball at one time. Everybody was trying to get Deion Sanders' number because he was flamboyant. He spoke a lot of trash, but he could back every single. That part was singing, dancing, was on Hammer's videos and all that stuff.
Bumps in the bumps.
Yeah, all that. You know what I'm saying? So this dude now has found himself. Has Deion ever been in the booth as an analyst? I don't think.
No, he was in the booth as an analyst, but he's been on NFL Network.
Yeah, but he's never like been in a booth like. Yeah, okay. But even still, Deion decided he took that job over at Jackson State. What, 3 years ago? 2 years ago? Was
3
it
years
2?
ago?
3 years, right?
3 years there. He went 27-5.
Turned that whole program around.
Back-to-back SWAC
championships. Back-to-back SWAC champions. Now, mind you, he had his son as his cute. Don't forget, you right. Best athlete. That's another thing. That's why he's go-to, because he didn't just own and be one of the best players in football. He was a great player in Atlanta Braves. Both of them, yes, great athletes. He was a great athletic player and a great baseball player at Atlanta Braves. So he didn't win a pennant or World Series or anything, but he did play real well. But I saw it coming, Trey. And for those that people didn't think it wasn't coming, I don't know what y'all who didn't see in it. I think he ended up getting 3 or 4 offers from schools. I know Colorado wasn't the only one. He had like three. I want to say 3 or 4 offers total, and he went ahead and stuck with Colorado. And the word on the street is he's taking Shedeur.
He is.
And that running back that flipped and went to Jackson State. When it was that running back initially said it was going to a D1. He's taking that running back with him too, going to the D1. So, man, shouts out to Deion, man. I'm happy for him, proud of what he's done, what he's doing. That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. If they don't want to give you an opportunity to play in the big leagues right off bat, start off slow. He found a HBCU and was like, all right. Oh, it's 11 of them going?
So I would like to play anti. I like to play. Yeah, that's a whole. I would like to play anti-advocate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So duly noted, and then so this is basically content for the most part. It's not. I don't say I disagree or anything with what Deion did, because obviously when you put it together, people are looking at it as like he's saying he was playing. Of course, they say the money he's making roughly $5 to $6 million a year in Colorado, as working $300,000 in Jackson State. But so I think why people have some angst in with the whole situation is Deion stood on the desk, HBCU, and then left them there. So it was obvious, of course, and what he did in leaving, he did put in say that he advised the organization to hire their his assistant coach to take on the helm, basically saying he needs a guy that's there, a family guy, someone that's a part of the organization, that has been a part of the organization, or else they're probably not going to respond too well to him. So he did give a vote of confidence to his wide receivers coach, and which presumably Chris Broussard, of course, from the ESPN, like Coach Rice talking about, is in which I was getting to as playing an anti-advocate role in the situation. To what Bishop was saying is, he seemingly used that information and created that narrative where people like getting people to buy into the HBCUs, and so on the opposite side of the spectrum, looking at it, is 3 years enough to say I did what I needed to do and what I set out to do in state, and then for me a bounce? That was some of the things in which I was looking at. I would have thought that he would have started left a couple of years more, like at least 1 or 2 more years.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. Did he owe them that?
He didn't. He didn't owe anything because it's a job.
It is a job.
It wasn't like he was providing his time for free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was a job. He was hired to do a job, and he did the job in which he was supposed to do. Like I said, I'm just taking the confidence.
I get it. And I'm just going off of what Coach Hunter's saying right here. He's saying he gave false narratives that he didn't truly believe in. What false narrative do you speak of, Coach Hunter? Because I wasn't aware of false narratives in which he brought to the HBCU, because I do know about him saying uplift HBCU. Why can't HBCU have top players? And that was his whole. And if that's the narrative in which you're speaking of, I can understand. He wanted to put more emphasis because his Shedeur is his youngest son. I think not his youngest, but
Shedeur is the youngest. His youngest one playing,
right? But Shedeur is younger than the one that's playing safety. So the one playing safety was already at an HBCU, and Shedeur went there.
Yeah, he transferred to Jackson State when his dad became
the head coach. Right. So this is the thing, right? So don't get me wrong. I understand where he was coming from. I personally, some are going to say he helped, and some will say he fleeced his community. You have to see both perspectives. And I'm trying to do that, Coach Hunter. That's exactly what I'm trying to get at right now is I want to know both perspectives. And I feel like he helped the community. He's definitely put Jackson State on the map. Like, without question, man, Jackson State is in the eyes of a lot of people now. And I think a lot of it is because of what Deion has done. Brought them 2 SWAC championships. They are clearly on the map. Most people only hear about, when it came to football, especially college football, it was Grambling. Who else? who else was we hearing in college
Tennessee
football?
State.
Tennessee State. It wasn't many, man. Jackson State, we knew everybody know about Battle of the Bands and all of that, but when it came to the game itself, nobody knew anything about Jackson State. Bishop's the part where he made about his culture not playing football. That's why so many HBCUs. Oh,
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Was it did Deion's coaching prowess bring that, or was it Deion that brung that? Was
but
it
he still
Deion
got a.
Sanders, or
But
was it prime time? Which
it was prime time because no one knows anything more about Deion but his sons. So it was prime time. It was the fact of who he is, because those same students could have went over there where Eddie George is. Why not go to Eddie George? Eddie George is a former football player, but
Heisman Trophy winner.
Heisman Trophy winner, all of that came out of Ohio State. But the thing of the matter, Eddie George is quiet and real reserved compared to a Deion Sanders who's very flamboyant, who's very outspoken, who is in the limelight. Like the kids, pretty much kids look up to, well, not our generation, my generation, we looked up, and the people, some of the people after me looked up to Deion Sanders. These kids nowadays, they got to hear about Deion Sanders. They don't, or go look back at videos and stuff like that about Deion Sanders. So it was definitely prime time that brought them students over there. Now we all know, and help me out, Coach Hunter, be honest, and anybody else can. Deion Sanders got the gift of gab. The boy can talk you into anything and make you believe pretty much anything he says. So just imagine having an interview, young student athlete coming out of high school, and Deion Sanders in your living room. Deion Sanders on your cell phone. Deion Sanders is pulling up at your school. Of course, you know what I'm saying? It was, without being said, that right there is once he pulls up, or once you hear Deion Sanders is coming to your school, like that's enough in itself. So yes, before he even says a lot, before even two words pretty much come out of his mouth, most kids gonna already be like, I'm going to Jackson State. And I get it, man. But obviously at the same time, Coach Hunter, I do feel like he obviously has some coaching skills. He did what he needed to do, got them guys in order. He's a very well-spoken individual when it comes to and hyping up your team, being motivational to your players, giving them ideas and giving them views on how things should be and what they should look for, all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Deion is well versed at doing to those student athletes as well as his coaching staff. And I can't wait to see what he brings to the table to Colorado. It's definitely going to put his feet to the fire. And we're gonna be looking forward. I'm sure everybody's looking forward to see what he has to bring to D1. But I understand too why some parents and some people are upset about him leaving the HBCUs. But I don't know, man. I'm going to wish him well. God called me, collect, and told me to go to the HBCU, and I answered the call. I went immediately following George Floyd's situation to uplift my people. This is the issue with him. His words.
And yeah, so it comes out, and like you said,
I didn't
it's
know
going to
who said
be
all that.
as long as you're saying it's public opinion, you're going to sit up and get those different sides and stuff like that. And
So,
like I said,
Tony, you feel like he sold out too? What Anthony Price said?
I don't think he sold out.
Go ahead.
I definitely don't think he sold out. I know I was looking at what Anthony had put up. My opinion, I don't think he sold out. I just think and like Eric said, he's going to be able to take now. He puts his son in Shador in an opportunity to where he has at least 1 or 2 years to play D1 ball against, like, yes, he's not going to face off against USC, but he's going to play Oregon or whoever they have there on the hook.
Pretty decent schools, man.
Yeah, it's still, it's still teams that are out there,
especially being that they was one. I think they won one game this year.
Yeah, 1-11.
Yeah, they won one game.
So now something else in which when talking about Deion, he pulled no punches, and it was something which you were just saying, Bishop, and talking about. He pulled no punches when he spoke to his players, Jackson State players, and his Colorado Buffalo players, to where he stood up and let them know, like, to the Jackson State players, he told them, like, some of y'all we're gonna have conversations with, but everyone, because I'm leaving, don't just try to jump ship, think you're going to go in the transfer portal and it's going to be sweet on the other side. You know what
That
I'm saying?
part.
You know what I'm saying?
That
And
part.
then, of course, he said to the Colorado players, let them know he's bringing some baggage with him, some luggage with him, and they're going to unpack. He's like, he's pulling up in the Louis bag, and he's going to unpack. And so some of them, if they're going to jump in the portal, go ahead and jump in, because the more that jump in, the less he has to get rid of to replace.
The
He let,
word on the street is the quarterback that already jumped in the portal.
so it wasn't the quarterback; it was the backup quarterback.
Oh, okay.
So the backup quarterback jumped in the portal already, in which he did. But of course, Deion Sanders, during the press conference, he asked Shador to stand up and said Shador is going to be their starting quarterback.
He's already put that out?
He said that in the press conference, but he
See
did say
now.
it's gonna,
Now
yeah,
that
yeah.
I don't
So
now that I don't agree with.
he's like that. He's like, but he's like, don't let it be understood. He's gonna earn it. He's gonna earn it. But
But you can't. How you gonna say he gonna earn it? You've already blessed off and said he's the starter. That's not earning it. He hasn't earned it. You haven't seen him under any of those people, or any of the players over there yet. So how are you going to see? That's where he. That right there
that's
is
where
where
it
he.
starts. Yeah,
Yeah, that's where it's a problem. That's that what do you call it? Boy
favoritisms,
ball. Yeah, well, it's favoritism, but they got a name for it here when coaches play their
buddy
son
ball.
over.
Oh,
Yeah, something
okay,
like
okay.
that.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they play their son over. The other players. That right there, I just definitely disagree with on Dion. I don't think that's what he should have done. He shouldn't have done that. He should have came in with the QB position is a position that will be the best
That's
player will
open.
play. He is open. It's the best
Yeah,
player will play, and we will see that during the spring season. We'll see, but we'll see who comes out on top during the spring season. We'll go from there. I do not agree with Dion saying that when in actuality you haven't seen anything over there. To an extent, I do believe he used culture and is being used by Colorado. If his influence did that at HBC, man, what he's about to do for the worst team in Pac-12. Best always gets taken, never used to help those that like him. Actions are contradicting to the message he sent. I get you. I get you, Coach Hunter. I totally get you. And you're right that this upcoming recruiting class. Watch what Colorado was last year. And
and
watch
peep
where they're going to
game.
be
So I was
in
looking.
recruiting.
If you go and take a look at the, because the portal opened up on Sunday,
Okay.
and already, so one thing to be said is the former Kent State head coach, Sean Lewis,
Mm-hmm.
has been touted and coined as Deion Sanders' offensive coordinator. Now, Sean Lewis and Kent State were the owners of the fastest offense in the FBCS. I mean, in Division II, I think it was, as well as the fourth fastest in all of college football. So
Oh
when you
wow,
take that into consideration,
that's a
because they
huge.
had an average of running the players every 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds getting the playoff. When you take that in consideration, when they're playing up in Colorado, that is going to take a toll on some defenses. When you run in 30 seconds and then you say you can't catch your breath and all this type of stuff. So that is some of the stuff. So with that being said, that
Mm-hmm.
head coach is going to Kent. I mean, is leaving Kent State and going to become the offensive coordinator from Deion Sanders. Now, how this plays in my opinion, especially if you go and take a look at the portal and who's in the portal currently, one of the top linemen from Kent State, it got into the portal. The top receiver or the second best receiver on the team is in the portal. And now I think you look at, okay, the head coach who had a certain type of offense is in this portal. I mean, is going to another organization, and
Mm-hmm.
these teams are jumping, and these people from his organization are jumping in the portal. Not to mention all the other players across the college spectrum who are jumped in the portal are now potentially could be plucked and picked up to make a better team for Colorado and Deion Sanders. So this is all going to be so interesting as it all plays out. You know what I'm saying? This whole portal thing is something serious when you look at it.
It is. It
And
is.
it is going to it's going to be so crazy when you start to stay and look and see. And Deion don't hold no punches. Like you said, he's not going to wait concerned about what people think of him and what they're doing. The only unfortunate thing is Colorado is strapped for cash. And so I really wonder what Colorado is going to do or going to be able to do because they already said the athletic director already came out and said we don't exactly have that money right now, but we're going to make it happen because they got to pay Dion $5.9 million roughly, and they got to pay his staff, and so it's just one of those things where we're going to see, but it's going to get Dion might build a problem over there in Colorado, or you know what I'm saying. Like everything is up right now. You got the Oregons, your Oregon States, you got your Utahs, USC will be gone potentially. UCLA is on the string because I don't know if the California Regent said they're going to that UCLA can or cannot move to the Big Ten. Okay. So all that is going to play out, and it's going to be $29 million for 5 years. So it's what Dion's supposed to get.
$29 million for 5 years. Okay.
So it's over. Yeah, it's over. It's roughly, when I last looked, I checked it out. It's over 300, close to 400 players from the FCSs that are in the portal, and then just over 200 are in the portal. Just under 200 is in the portal when it comes to FB Division Ones. Deion Sanders, one of the first conversations was with boosters. He was, of course, he got to sit and make it.
Yeah. He you know. Funny thing is, so many people have an opinion on him in HBCU, and most of them haven't even supported an HBCU. How many have actually been to an HBCU game or class? I was just saying, good question. Good question. That is a good question as well as answer. I mean, statement. But do you necessarily need to be to a game to support Kimberly? Because even though I get it, I know, by coming out to those games is definitely a way to support the HBCUs, because that's why, that's where they get their money from ticket sales and putting people in those seats to help fund the organization even more for their college, sports athletic program. And I know, I'm just saying, because we're talking about, okay, I got you. And his dad will get paid and not out of his own pocket. And so I just, we know Deion's about the money. That's why I don't know. It must be the money. You know what I'm saying? Driving me crazy. You know what I'm saying? He had a song about it. So that's why it's shocking to me that some people are shocked that he left and was going to go to a D1 school, because we know what D1 represents. Yes, he's about the culture, but when it's all said and done, a lot of us about the culture until money's flashed in front of our face. And if it's the right dollar signs with the right dot in the right position, it can influence anybody to go another route. I'm just saying.
So it's going back to what Ken. What's up, Ken? I haven't seen you a second.
I know. Sis. Good to see you, Ken.
Getting that brand off. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you put your go ahead and shoot your brand in the comments while you're here, sis. But but what Ken was just saying, it comes down to, when you look at it, and what you were saying as well, Bishop. The end state is, I don't, like I said, I can't hold them. Can't say anything bad about it, because end state is he did what everyone else is. It's like, people sit up and think about it. How many people left a job for $5 an hour? This man left a job for over $4.1 million a month. I mean, a year. To be it for a betterment. And like, who's to say what he's going to do with his money, or if he's going to pull a Kyrie and just do whatever and give his money to whatever and all that. What's to say who's going to be? But he's what his worth is, or what they see in his worth is what they're paying him for. So right. I mean, so you're saying, and then it comes back to the whole support of the HBCUs. That's one thing he did do. Now, the only quarrel in which I have for the most part is, did you or did you not do it in a sense of where it was, you know what I'm saying? Who's to say that it wasn't unique? You know what I'm saying? I look at this, I'm a marketer. You know what I'm saying? I do marketing. I'm a marketer. And I would sit up and say that sometimes you got to do, like, it may not be exactly what you believe in, or sometimes it is. But like you just said, Bishop, there's a price tag to some of that stuff. And
That
this
part.
price tag might have been that $4 million as opposed to
That,
300,000. Like, he
that
could have sat there, you know what I'm saying? Not everyone is willing to sit somewhere and take and be paid pennies
they
because
couldn't.
it's something you love.
They couldn't, Anthony.
Oh yeah, they can't make you that type of
They
money.
can't. They can't match. They can't match that.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to, in my opinion. He sat there, he was doing what he was willing to do that. A better situation came upon. And I'm very sure he had to sit up and have a conversation with himself. It's like, I done sat here with the I am SWAC, who's not SWAC, I'm SWAC, and all this other type of stuff. And basically at the end state, to coin that phrase, at that time, he was SWAC. Does him being SWAC mean that he's does him being SWAC mean that he can't he can't go on and continue to be SWAC or represent the SWAC in somewhere else? Like, I'm from Compton. I ain't lived in Compton but I stand up to the death of me. I stand a Comptonite, but I ain't lived in Compton in over 20 years.
Right.
That doesn't remove the fact of that's where I'm saying that's where
you're from, and that's who you
yeah.
rep.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying? That's just it. And you know what I'm saying? That is instilled in me in whatever case like that. Just like we had the conversation about other things, what you talking about, if I was getting paid X amount of dollars from the Seattle Seahawks, can I work there being a San Francisco 49 can? You damn right I can.
You sure right.
and I'm going to continue.
When I leave here, I'm going to put my 49ers jacket on. Yeah,
I was about to say, I'm showing up during that time frame when they sit up and play them. I'm going to sit up and have my Seattle gear on and all that type of stuff, my Seattle Seahawk beanie. I'll probably have a jersey on underneath, or you know what I'm saying, or some 49er socks or something. My underwear might have stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I won't pull that. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, rep. So at that part, you know what I'm saying, and it all comes out to be social. You know what I'm saying. So
changes things and people.
Yeah, but from a marketing sense, it makes sense. Like, he did what he had to do while he was there. It was only right for him to sit up and say these things. And it doesn't necessarily change the fact, but from a marketing standpoint, it's like, it's message. What is the message in which you're putting out? And so that's why I think it starts to go awry for him. It's about the message. And it's like, so everyone is grasping to the message that he was putting out. And now, for the most part, it's not to say he can't speak that message, because he can still slide people who isn't the best. Mm-hmm. They might not be the best for SBC or SBCS. I mean, for the D1, but they might be immaculate in the HBCU environment. And so it's going to be like everyone can't go where everyone else is going, and that's just the end state. So
I truly believe this, Coach Hunter. I truly believe this. I think this is the whole reason. I think, again, when it was all said and done, a lot of people ask, why didn't Deion get offers for, D1 schools and stuff like that? Again, when it's all said and done, I think it goes back to what I said in the very beginning of the show, when it came, or very beginning of this topic about Deion. He's very flamboyant. He's very flamboyant. He's very what's the word I used? He doesn't hold no punches. Mm-hmm. And he's very, he comes out and he's gonna say what he want to say, without anybody having any, and don't care what nobody thinks. So I don't know if you can't name one, you can't name one coach in a college football that has Deion Sanders type of flamboyancy. So when he comes in, like, I don't think any of the programs out there wanted to take on the chance of seeing how Deion would come over in college football, whereas a HBCU did. And with that being said, and they seen that it wasn't really a whole lot of drama, unnecessary stuff. Deion came out there and did what he was supposed to do, which was coach ball. You know what I'm saying? He came out there and did what he did and coach ball, and got 2 championships out behind it. So with that being said, now that the D1 schools have seen that he can be successful, whether or not it is a HBCU or not, they're willing to take that chance. And I think that's what exactly, like you say, once he proved it, look at how many schools, it was just a matter of time. And being that fact, he was taking his team undefeated, 20 in 3 years, 27-5. I mean, that speaks a lot. once USC and UCLA have to leave the Pac-12, they're going to expect Colorado to do so. I'm pretty sure.
Nah, I think that's going to belong to Utah and Oregon for a short amount of time.
That's true too. How many NFL players went to HBCU who haven't done what he did? We let Shannon Sharp and man make it when they have. What have they done? Ooh, Kimberly throwing out some jazz, bro.
She been traveling. She got all she got time. She's like, I got time today.
I got time today. Yeah, I mean, you have a valid point, Kim. Very valid point. I don't know. I don't even know what Eddie George's what they record is over there where he's at. Because you don't hear nothing about Eddie George. I know Deion them played him, and Deion, I think they thrashed him pretty bad too, if I'm not mistaken. But he said he got time also. Fight on. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Let's just. I can't wait, man. Somebody said it yesterday, man. People starting to feel sad because it's now coming close to the end of football season. So a lot of people, you spent colleges about the rest of this month and the beginning of the first week of next month, and that's it for college. College is officially done after that. I'm just saying, people always want to do more. Right? He gave back part of his salary, was present even during his illness, brought all the lights to him. What more do you want? Facts, Kim. Facts. Straight facts. Tell them about it. Tell them about it. The last time Colorado won a national championship, Cordell Stewart was the QB to slash. Is Deion son the next slash? Good question. That's who they're going to compare him to, though, without question. Without question, that's exactly who they're going to compare him to, Donda. Totally agree. They man came. He conquered. He moved on. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, love you. I gotta go. All right, Kim. I'm sure you out there in the battle, getting it in out there. But real quick, man, before we get, I know we talked about that for a minute, but I know y'all want to see this right here, man. So we gonna talk about it real quick. The 2022-2023 college bowl games that are about to come up, starting on when does the first game? Hold on.
The 17th.
The 16th. 16th. Yeah. So the 16th of December, we have the Bahamas Bowl, which is Miami versus UAB. Cure Bowl, number 24 Troy versus number 25 UTSA. That's in Orlando, Florida. The other one, the Bahamas Bowl, is in the Bahamas, of course. Fenway Bowl, Cincinnati versus Louisville in Fenway Park in Boston. The Celebration Bowl, Jackson State versus North Carolina Central. That will be played in Atlanta for those in the Atlanta area. The Las Vegas Bowl, that bowl game is number 14th Oregon State versus Florida. The LA Bowl, Washington State versus Fresno State in Inglewood, California. Stand up, Inglewood. Lending Tree Bowl, Rice versus Southern Miss in Alabama. Mobile, Alabama. New Mexico Bowl, SMU versus BYU in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Frisco Bowl, Boise State versus North Texas in Frisco, Texas. This is on the 17th. I'm sorry. These all those bowls I just named were on 17th. And then on Monday, the 19th, this 19th of December, Myrtle Beach Bowl, Marshall versus UConn. You know where that's at, Conway, South Carolina. Tuesday, that's the only game that's on the 19th. Tuesday, game on Tuesday, December the 20th. Famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Eastern Michigan versus San Jose State in Boise, Idaho. Baca Rotten Bowl in Florida, Liberty versus Toledo. Mm-hmm. On Wednesday, December the 21st, New Orleans Bowl, of course, in New Orleans, South Alabama versus Western Kentucky. That's you out there, Trey. Thursday, December 22nd, Armed Forces Bowl, Baylor versus Air Force in Fort Worth. Not at Jerry's World, though, but at Fort Worth and Amon G. Carter Stadium. Friday, December the 23rd, Gasparilla Bowl, Wake Forest versus Missouri in Tampa, Florida. The 23rd, also the Independence Day Bowl, Houston versus Louisiana in Shreveport, Louisiana. I don't know how far that is from you, Trey, but that's 2 days before Christmas. And then on Christmas Eve, Saturday, the Hawaii Bowl, which is, of course, in Hawaii, Middle Tennessee State versus San Diego State in Honolulu. Monday, day after Christmas, Quick Lane Bowl, Bowling Green versus New Mexico State in Detroit, Michigan. Okay, yeah, there's only one game on the day after Christmas, Tuesday, 27th of December, First Responder Bowl, Memphis versus Utah State. Also in Dallas, Ford Stadium, Birmingham Bowl, Coastal Carolina versus East Carolina, Birmingham, Alabama. Camellia Bowl, Buffalo versus Georgia Southern. In Montgomery, Alabama, Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Oklahoma State versus Wisconsin. In Phoenix, Arizona, Wednesday, December the 28th, Military Bowl, Duke versus UCF. In Indianapolis, Maryland, Liberty Bowl, Arkansas versus Kansas. And that's Arkansas versus Kansas, Arkansas versus Kansas, Memphis, Tennessee, and Liberty Bowl. Holiday Bowl, number 15th ranked Oregon versus North Carolina in San Diego. Texas Bowl, Texas Tech versus Ole Miss. That's down there in the Houston area. Thursday, December the 29th, Pinstripe Bowl, Minnesota versus Syracuse and Bronx. BX stand up. Cheez-It Bowl, number 13, Florida State versus my beloved Oklahoma Boomer Sooners. That is at the Cheez-It Bowl in Orlando, Florida. Alamo Bowl, which is right here in the great state of Texas, San Antonio. That is number 12, Washington versus number 20, Texas. Friday, December the 30th, Orange Bowl, number 6, Tennessee versus number 7, Clemson. That'll be in Miami Gardens, Florida. Duke's Mayo Bowl, number 23, North Carolina State versus Maryland. Yeah, I know, right? And that game is in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. Sun Bowl, number 18, UCLA versus Pitt in El Paso, Texas. Gator Bowl, number 19, South Carolina versus number 21, Notre Dame. That's in Jacksonville, Florida. Arizona Bowl, of course, in Tucson, Ohio versus Wyoming. New Year's Eve, the Fiesta Bowl, college playoff semifinal. Number 2 ranked Michigan versus number 3 ranked TCU in Glendale.
Why you saying that voice?
Man, because these are the actual college football bowl games, bro.
Yeah.
Peach Bowl, college football playoff semifinal. Number 1, Georgia versus number 4, Ohio State. That will be in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Then we go back to the Music City Bowl, Iowa versus Kentucky, and Nashville, Tennessee. Sugar Bowl, Alabama, number 5, Alabama versus number 9, Kansas State down there in the Superdome in New Orleans, Trey. Then that was New Year's Eve. On day after New Year's, January 2nd, the Reliant Quest Bowl, 22, Mississippi State versus Illinois and Tampa, Florida. Citrus Bowl, number 17, LSU versus Purdue in Orlando. Cotton Bowl, of course, that's down in Arlington. Cotton Bowl Classic, number 10, USC versus number 16.
I thought about pulling
that's why I looked over. I said, oh, they going to be in Arlington, yeah. Versus number 16, Tulane. And Rose Bowl, number 8, Utah versus number 11, Penn State. And then the College Football National Championship. Mark your calendars. Monday, January the 9th in Inglewood, California. And there you have it. Those are your bowl games for 2022, 2023.
You know, I won't start this. Reserve my questions, my comments for those. But you know what I'm saying? Of course, in any case, congratulations to all the teams. You know what I'm saying? Now we have the potential, whether it be TCU, whether it be Ohio State, whether it be Michigan, whether it be Georgia. It remains to be seen. Is it going to be upsets? Time was going to tell.
Yeah.
As we already know, the top receiver from Ohio State said he's not playing in the bowl game. He's going to go ahead and get ready. Great. Yeah, get ready for the draft.
He's the second or third person that I heard do that, right? Ain't he? He's like two others. There's another guy that said that too. He said he's not playing. He's declared for the draft as well. What do you think about that, Trey? Is that we talked about? Hold on, I'm glad you brought that up. We talk about Deion. Where does your loyalty and all of that lie to your teammates when it comes down to a bowl game? And you declare before and decide not to play.
It's the same as what Deion did.
You haven't got paid though. You're not getting paid.
but
All
you're
you
setting
got right now
yourself.
is your NIL. That's it.
You're setting yourself for your payday, and so
In
that's
hopes.
yeah,
In
in hopes that
hopes.
you're gonna get that payday. So it's the same in my opinion. Like you
But
got to
is
do what's
anything
like
but Trey,
you
is
say
anything guaranteed?
true.
You
It's
remember
not.
that?
It's not. It's not.
Dion's thing was guaranteed, bro. Whether he took it or not, he was still gonna get paid.
So
Take that.
how I look at it is you err
No.
on the side of caution for you what you're willing to give up or endure.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end state is if you're willing to give up or endure whatever comes with that and your decision, then you go ahead and do it. And only you are the person that has to deal with that, the fallout and all that type of stuff. You're the common denominator in this situation. I've always said and thought to myself, like, no matter what, we can do whatever. Like we have the conversation all the time. 11-1, the
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can sit up and tell me that Philadelphia Eagles is the best team in the NFL. They have the best record in the NFL, but only I can change my mind whether I believe they are the best team in the NFL. No matter what is presented in front of me, only I can change my mind in state. And so that's what comes down with the same thing for players and Dion's. Only he determines what is going to be the better suited for him. And same thing with the receiver. I can't think of his name. I think in Baja or in Jabi or something like that. Only he can determine what is going to be best for him, and he go ahead and determine it as I'm going to go ahead and forego this, and it's not like he's, you know what I'm saying? So it would be, and it's like funny, like again, media is funny, people are funny. It would be a whole problem if he did it and they wasn't playing in a bowl game, and they'd be like, oh, he's not there because of the bowl game, but he's playing in a bowl game that's going to be have implications for him to be a national champion at the end state. And he's electing not to play in the game because he doesn't want to get injured in a game. He's not like he's playing one game; he has to play 2 games. At this point, it's not going to make him break. Probably at this point, they see who he is and they know what it is. He's like, you know what, Marvin Harrison Jr. got it.
But then, and you say that, Trey, but aren't you? Isn't his team about to play on the biggest platform that they've played on? Probably.
He's played on that platform for 3 years. He's good, I'm sure.
But
Maybe
but in the
because they do.
don't you show your progress? Don't you
But I
want
was
to
about to say,
show?
they do. They have their things where they get grades and they get
Right,
evaluated and all that type of
right.
stuff. They
That
probably got
part.
the evaluation. Like it's not probably going to change. It's probably not going to make them break you. You can improve
So
on this, that, the third.
if a receiver that already, you know what I'm saying, already got your eyes on it, and then he goes and plays on the biggest platform of the season that he can play in. Maybe because you said not one game but 2, so he's finna have opportunity to play in 2,
Potentially 2 games.
potentially 2. You mean to tell me in both games he has 10 catches and over 200 some yards? You think that's not even like, oh no, we definitely going with him compared to he was on the fence at first, but now he got 2 games with
But whether
10 plus
make
receptions and plus over 200 yards both games.
whether make you laugh or make you cry, and just on this, just so simply, he can sit up and only end up playing 1 game and being locked down to where he only had 1 reception. He got 5 looks, 1 reception for 6 yards, and no touchdowns.
Mm-mm.
And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so it just brings up, or he can get that in both games and just someone else ate. So it's like at this point, go out with a bang and just be like, you know what,
Are you
I'm
going out
chilling.
with a bang though?
I'm chilling.
Are you going out with a bang though?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Because he didn't, you know what I'm saying? But
he
I
ain't
mean,
finish it off.
yeah, he didn't finish. He didn't, I mean, he finished. His state is the end from an individual standpoint. He did enough to put his name to be able to have enough to say I'm going to sit out this game and I'm going to go ahead and work on my draft to where he's probably going to be a top draft pick. So I guess he did do enough. He finished what he needed to. He ain't finished in the sense of, oh, okay, I finished, but he's finished as far as he's done. He dictates when his career is done in the college, and it's after, as long as he's played 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. All he had to do, he only had to audition for 2 years.
That part.
So So transition a little bit. I mean, I know we talked about that. Let's go into saying NFL. We'll get NBA on the back end because it's not too much really in NBA from what I was looking at. So we'll get the NBA on the back end. Let's talk about the NFL, Bishop,
Mm-hmm.
and let's talk about a couple of things. Some saying something. It's more just commercial conversation for the most part. But of course, what we see is last night. Actually, we'll go over this. Last night, the New Orleans Saints take on the Buccaneers, uh, in which Andy Dalton's 20 for 28, 229 yards, one touchdown. Taysom Hill was 1 for 1 with 21 yards. Mark Ingram 7 carries for 27 yards. With Kamara had 12 carries for 26. Taysom 3 for 10. Rashid Shaheed was 4 receptions for 75 yards. Chris Olave was 4 for 65. Adam Troutman 2 for 28. Taysom Hill had 2 receptions for 35 yards and the only touchdown or one their only touchdown. The Buccaneers, Tom Brady, your GOAT as you would call him, 36 for 54, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Leonard Fournette carried the ball 10 times for 49 yards. Rashad White, 9 for 28. Chris Godwin, 8 receptions for 63 yards. Mike Evans, 4 receptions for 59 yards. Rashad White, 6 receptions, 41 yards, including a touchdown in the last 5 seconds of the fourth quarter. Fournette, 6 for 32. K. Oden, 6 for 28 and a touchdown, which kind of like kept them ahead above water. All that being said, you heard it up. If you totaled it up, 2 touchdowns to 1 touchdown, equals it don't fit. The New Orleans Saints fall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 17-16 in what a tackle, Bishop. All he needed was a tackle.
They couldn't do
Probably,
it.
It could have ran it out.
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers improved to 6-6 on the year. New Orleans fall to 4-9. And just to think, if they would have got that win, they would have been in contention to be a division to be up there. They could have been in. There's a possibility that they still could have got into the playoffs off of that. But of course, they falter, and now they continue to have to fight. Not dead completely yet for them, but it's looking pretty dismal at this point. But stranger things can happen in the NFC East. I mean, NFC South.
I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. They got what they got.
Of course, some other things that took place. Just for the most part, newsworthy. We'll get to that. Actually, also that ranking, even though it's probably not going to make a difference now. But of course, other things that took place when you look at it, the Cowboys, of course, are meeting with OBJ to discuss options potentially.
He's still
OBJ,
in Dallas, they say.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson went down in the first quarter Sunday, in which he's going to be evaluated. He's week to week, currently not expected to play this week. Panthers
wave Baker Mayfield-ish.
Yes, Panthers wave Baker Mayfield, as they said that it wasn't likely that he was going to start. Wasn't going to be the starter going forward.
This is after he decided he requested a trade, right, or requested a release. Ain't that right?
Yeah. So they said it was mutual. They said they said it was mutual. But I think he didn't make the decision until he was told that it's not like he's not going to be the backup or the starter going forth the rest of the time. So after that, he asked to be released, in which they said it was mutual, and they went ahead and released him. So he's out in Carolina now. He has till 3:00 today to be claimed off waivers. If he is not claimed off waivers, then he is free to go and negotiate whatever it is that he wants with the organization and become a part of what organizations he deems. Of course, there's a couple of
Oh, what they're saying?
organizations.
What they're saying? The funny thing about signing him per ESPN.
So
Is that true? Is that true,
so
Trey?
a conversation that's came up in reference to, because Jimmy Garoppolo is out, Trey Lance is
Right.
out for the most part,
Yeah,
in which
Jimmy
currently
kind of hurt me in my fantasy because he was my starting QB. But believe it or not, I still won with him being out. But go ahead.
so Jimmy's out, possibly out for the season with a broken foot. We all know Trey Lance is out.
Yeah.
So Brock Purdy, who was pretty good in college, he was, well, I ain't gonna say pretty good. He was good in college. He came and he was able to help get a 33-17 win over this weekend over the Miami Dolphins, improving San Francisco to 8-4. But over the course of the next 5 games, I don't know if he's if he can be if he can continue that, or if he'll continue to keep us in contention. So the 49ers, of course, have went and got some insurance. They brought in Josh Johnson, who is a journeyman, but he has been proven to be an effective journeyman. He's been in the San Francisco organization before. They brought him in, and of course, now they're looking at seeing who else they can bring in. So, of course, it came up a conversation of Baker Mayfield. But the 49ers currently are the 24th on the wire. So even Baker Mayfield would have to fall to them. And as of yet, we haven't heard anything. We're saying anyone has claimed Baker Mayfield off any of the wires yet. You still have teams like the Rams, if they're looking to try to salvage, which I don't think they're too much is salvageable right now. You have additional teams, Lamar and them, they might looking, although Lamar being out week to week, maybe Baker Mayfield isn't the best to bring in. But I mean, you have Huntley. They just brought in and put him back on the practice squad. Huntley is expected to start this week. Who else? Denver. You know what I'm saying? It might have. So there's a couple of teams out there that may be in need
Who
of
do
a
you see him
quarterback.
going to? If he was to get signed within the next 3 days, who you think would be the team to reach out for, or who do you think may be the top 3 teams that would reach out for Baker?
I would say the 49ers.
Okay.
I'm so scared of that. But the 49ers.
Okay.
I would say the 49ers, the Giants, and Houston.
I give you Houston, the 49ers, and I raise you a Tennessee.
The Titans.
Because I don't think Tannehill's that dude. Yep. That's who I see reaching out. Possibly.
It is interesting, but we'll see. Of course, like I said, he got still today, by 3:00 Central Standard Time. If he is not claimed on waivers, he can go and negotiate with who he wants, and get back on the squad if he deems so, or if anyone is reaching out to him. So potentially, you might have some teams that might wait it out and see. I know Kyle Shanahan brung up and said that he's kind of he's confident in what he has currently. But of course, you never know what can happen. That could just be a ploy to be like so someone doesn't try to snatch him up and hold him on their roster, like some stuff I do in fantasy football. Because currently, I have 3 quarterbacks on my roster, and I'm not releasing them no matter what. And I need to release some to get some stuff because I'm struggling this week. But
Yes, you are, guy. Yes,
I need to get a W this weekend. Don't try to play me. I went from falling to a number 11 in the league.
Which league we're talking about?
Our league, the First Formation League. I went from being number 11 at some point in our league, and I'm currently number 4. So don't try to play me. Like I work with.
Did I take over for?
No, you're still number 2.
No, are you sure? Points.
Yeah, you're half a game. You're 1 game behind Coach Paris. He's 11-2. You're 10-3
In
with the
in
with the first formation. So it starts. We start. The next week is the playoff start.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. You're right. I'm looking at the
You're number one in the fraternity league.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, my bad.
And I'm holding on to number 3.
But I'm 11-2 over there. I do.
Yeah.
And I snuck a win this week. Barely over the CEO 86-81. That was just pure luck. Am I number 2 for real? I am.
Yeah, you're number 2 behind. Well, you're number 2, but you're not going to be a top. You're not going to be. I don't think you're going to be a number 2 seed when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think you'll be a 4 seed.
I've already clinched the playoff spot. Yes.
Yeah, you're going to be a 4 seed most likely.
Yes. Ooh,
because this is a and I had to fight to get that. It's been all my life.
We over here in Division 3. We over here in Division 3 is like the NFC East. We got, what I'm saying?
The Division 1. Division 1 is like the NFC East.
Well, I'm talking about wins. Ooh, Mr. CEO 3-10. Ugh.
I got to win this game.
1, 2.
I got to win this game.
Yeah, you sure do. You sure do.
I don't think I'm going to fall out if I lose, but I got to win this game. Winning the game in both divisions, in both leagues. The only one that I'm just like that I'm like handling business right now is in Ron and them Sports and Shenanigans league. I'm the third seed there, and I'm climbing. But in our league and in the fraternity league, I'm struggling. Like I'm not struggling, but I need help to get in because it's like if I lose, I could potentially be. I'm third in the R league, and I'm 4th in the sports in the final in the 4th formation league, and I could drop if I take an L. I could not drop out. I think I'll still be in the top 6, but I can drop to where, you know what I'm saying? So, but right now I'm sitting good. What helps me in our league is, and your LB, shout out to your LB.
Hurt.
No, not Hurt. I got some words for Hurt. Not Hurt. Because Hurt did some Hurt. I watched Hurt. That dirt. I heard. I see that stuff. That's why I was like, I felt good because even with all that which he got, I only lost by 20 points. I lost by more than 20 points. But technically, I could have, if I had made the right decisions, I would have only. It's only two things in which I didn't do. Had I started the 49ers defense and had I went ahead and kept in Collins, I would have only lost by 1 point or 2 points. So I felt good about that because what he got, I was like, bruh, like he got a squad after all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? After all that stuff, the suspect handshakes and stuff. Yeah. Like he got a squad. But your LB, who was like, I don't know what I'm doing here and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
He has climbed, and now I have to sit up and I face him. So I sit up and been watching him coming, and now he's in front of me, and now he can potentially stand between me because I'm good right now. Like, yes, your LB is your other LB is number 2, has a number 2 ranking, but I potentially could be a division champion. So that gives me right now between the 3 divisions outside of yourself, I'm the best division champion, which would give me the number 2 bye. So I'm good. All I got to do is win.
That's true. That's all you got to do.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's all. It's just got to be fastest than the slowest man. That's all I got to do. So, you know what I'm saying? So I can put a little separation. So, you know what I'm saying? But I'm good. And so that's what I'm working on now in the first formation league is to catch Melissa, who now I'm behind her. So potentially I can maybe catch her if she was to take an L. If she was to lose this week, and it gives me opportunity. If I get a win, it gives me opportunity to move up in. And the only way I get a win is I need for Minnesota not to have a good game. But of course, we'll talk about that more later. But yeah, so what else we have? The Cowboys. They get back their Pro Bowler, Tyron Smith. He gets to come back.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I'm saying, getting back just in time. When do y'all play again?
Who?
Philadelphia.
I think we got the Christmas Eve game. So, we played them again on Christmas Eve.
Getting back up in there. Who else? The Packers. Aaron Rodgers was able to play, in which they came out and said that they want Aaron Rodgers back next year. Want to be engaged. So hopefully that comes out. If he comes, he signed a 3-year deal, so technically he's under contract. But of course, Aaron Rodgers, 39 years old. I don't think he's that Brady-esque type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. Remove the rings. Is Aaron Rodgers better than Tom Brady?
No.
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 Okay.
No. Not in my opinion. No. Give him mad props to Aaron Rodgers. He definitely probably will go down in the Hall of Fame. But no, I don't think he's better. No, you can't. You can't.
I don't know, man. I
don't think.
I think Tom Brady standing on the rings makes him a more impolar. I think Aaron Rodgers
But
is
he's
better than
standing on
Tom
those.
Brady.
But he's standing on the ring.
If you remove those rings, I think Aaron Rodgers is better.
In what aspect?
Passing. So
I
say that. I say that. I say that. I don't know. I think if you remove the rings and put them head to head, well, you know what, we can't.
So let me ask you.
It's a difference of 6 years, 7 years. So it's hard to say.
That too, and not only that, are you willing to say Aaron Rodgers could have won the same amount of Super Bowls over in
if he was with Belichick?
Yeah, over in Belichick, and then follow up and leave and go to another team and still win a Super Bowl right after leaving Belichick. That's right there.
That right part might have been hard because I think the difference between them is their mindsets, and I think what we have seen is Tom Brady is a little more susceptible to being more of a team player than Aaron is. Aaron has maybe a different aspect on how things get done. So I think that makes a world of difference in that mindset. But from play wise, when we're just talking about play, how Aaron Rodgers played, and thinking like, okay, if Aaron Rodgers had those same weapons, yes, I think he could have did it. I think Brady could not.
Okay. I mean, I got you. I mean, a lot of people, when it's all said and done, you can't go against the fact this man got 6-7 Super Bowl rings. So, like, and Aaron Rodgers has one, and he's had some talented wide receivers.
I was about to say he's had
some talented wide receivers,
but he has not had the team that Tom Brady has had.
Yeah. He's had some. I mean, what did Tom have that Aaron didn't have?
Randy Moss.
But he had a Randall, or not a Randall. Who was the old boy back there? The year they won the Super Bowl. And he only had Randy 1 year, 2 years.
That was one of their Super Bowl years. Yeah. I mean, they've had a plethora of talent over the time frame. Yeah, so just like how the same way, in my opinion, the same way how they won in Tampa, the same way how the Los Angeles Rams won, it's the same way how New England was winning. They have a plethora of talent. When they lost some of that talent is when they started to go the wheels fell off. And that's when, Brady couldn't be effective anymore because he had to do it on his own. And I think that's the difference. Aaron Rodgers has done it on his own without all that talent. And that's what I'm saying. That's another reason I think bring that up. But
I'm just trying I'm trying to think who he had Greg Jennings.
Yeah, Greg Jennings.
He had Greg Jennings. He had what's this other cat? And Antonio Freeman too.
Donald Driver,
Antonio Freeman, Donald Driver. Like, he didn't have Sterling. Sterling was gone. So I'm just saying, like, bro, and now Randall Cobb. You can throw him in there. Like, he's had some of the same receivers.
Not same
type. Some of the same type. He didn't have some of the same types. He may not have had a Randy Moss, but a lot of people didn't have a Randy Moss.
He had Wes Welkers. He's had who else? Julius Edelman.
Yeah.
Beyond Branch. Like he's had people over the time
Yeah.
frame. He
Yeah.
had Blount. Like he had Grunk. He had Hernandez. He's had Watson. Like he's
Yeah.
had
He had
he's
some
had plenty of
players.
he's had plenty of players in which I think eclipse those in which that has been had in Green Bay. Um, of course, what else we have here? Let's real quick go through these power rankings so we can get into some
Okay.
NBA before we get out of here. So, of course, in ESPN, we say we have the same power rankings. Maybe nothing has changed that much. Of course, in ESPN 32, Houston is unfortunate at 11, 1 and 10. At number 31, the Broncos. That's got to be very disappointing when you look at what they gave up to get Russell, but maybe it changes next year. At number 30, you have the Chicago Bears. At number 29, the Los Angeles Rams. Another disappointment, I'm sure. At number 28, the Indianapolis Colts. 27, the Carolina Panthers. At Arizona comes in at number 26, the New Orleans Saints at 25. At number 24, the Atlanta Falcons. At number 23, you have Cleveland Browns, who, of course, Deshaun Watson made his debut after not playing for over 277 days. He came back, wasn't looking too good initially. A lot of balls thrown low and into the ground. But of course, they got the win. 5 more potentially put them in playoff position. Remains to see what how that's going to end up going. At number 22, the Jacksonville Jaguars. At 21, the Green Bay Packers. At number 20, at 5 and 7, the Detroit Lions.
Mm.
Keep on fighting, Detroit. I'm pulling for y'all. Number 19, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 18, the Las Vegas Raiders. At 17, the Los Angeles Chargers. 16, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't see how. Number 15, the New England Patriots. At number 14, the New York Giants. At number 13, the Washington Commanders. Another team. All right, Washington, I'm watching y'all. The New York Jets come in at number 12. At number 11, the Tennessee Titans. At number 10, the Seattle Seahawks. They keep fighting as well. At number 9, the Baltimore Ravens. 8, the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow continues to get in
Make
there.
things happen, man. Yep.
At number 7, the San Francisco 49ers. 6, the Miami Dolphins. That's disrespectful. At number 5, the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, that's disrespectful.
How's
At
that
number
just?
4,
Go ahead.
the Minnesota Vikings at number 10 and 2 of Minnesota.
And yeah, who's above them?
That's what we're supposed to talk. Dallas Cowboys at 93, the Buffalo
Should
Bills at
be.
93, the Kansas City Chiefs at
Should
93,
be.
and at number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles
All
at
of them.
11 and 1.
That's fair.
You think that's fair?
Yeah. How's that disrespectful? I don't see how that's wrong. Dallas beat them, so Dallas got to stay above them. Kansas City doing their thing. They did lose this weekend, but they lost to a formidable. I mean, Cincinnati is a team that's back on the rise. I think that's fair. How the Dolphins above us?
That's a good question. That was my first disrespectful. We just knocked off the Dolphins and they're above us, and I think it comes because of Jimmy Garoppolo. But we're going to sit up and shock the world. In the NFL, the Houston Texans are 32, the Indianapolis Colts are 31. At number 30, the Denver Broncos. At 29, the Los Angeles Rams. 28, the Chicago Bears. The Carolina Panthers come in at 27. The New Orleans Saints drop to number 26. Atlanta Falcons are at 25. 24, the Jacksonville Jaguars. 23, the Arizona Cardinals. At 22, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Green Bay Packers come in at number 21. Cleveland Browns at number 20. At number 19, the Patriots. The Los Angeles Chargers at 18, dropping 6 spots. Detroit Lions move up 3 spots to number 17. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with their win, move up 2 spots to number 16. The Las Vegas Raiders at number 15. The New York Giants at number 14. The Washington Commanders, number 13. At 12, the Seattle Seahawks. 11, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 10, the New York Jets. At number 9, the Tennessee Titans. At number 8, where it should be, the Miami Dolphins come in at number 8 in the NFL. 49ers come in at number 7, but they dropped 3 spots. Correction, 4 spots from number 3 to number 8 to number 7 because of Jimmy Garoppolo's injury. That's disrespectful. The Minnesota Vikings come in at number 6. Kansas City Chiefs at number 5. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills. At number 3, the Cincinnati Bengals. Are really?
Ooh,
That's how we
that's high
feeling?
NFL. Cincinnati at
Burrow
3.
at
Ooh,
3.
because they knocked off Kansas City, and Kansas City 2, and we number 1. Gotta be.
Dallas is number 2, and the
Oh,
and the Eagles are number 1.
I forgot that you didn't say Dallas. Where was Kansas City at? Why didn't you
Number
say?
5.
Oh, they was at 5. Oh,
That's what we do in Africa, right? That's what we riding Purdy.
riding Purdy,
Riding Purdy.
riding.
Uh, so that's what we have for the NFL and their top spots and what is going. Defense is definitely going to be a 49er defensive game. And we don't have to sit up and earn our spot. I think it just takes one win and we'll get back up in there, back into the top, above the top 5. But for us to lose just because we lose Jimmy Garoppolo and to take us out the top 3 ranking is a little absurd.
Really?
But I mean, we should see, we should continue to see how that ends up turning out. Should we stick with Geno Smith with a long-term contract or Mayfield? They had a
Seattle.
chance to get Mayfield, so I
They
think they're
did, and
going to
they
stick with.
passed up on
Geno
him.
is cooking.
Yeah,
Geno is a Pro Bowl quarterback currently, I think, in my opinion.
I don't see why going away from what's working.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why we would do that. If I was Pete Carroll, I would stick with Geno. There's no need to go look for it elsewhere. It looks like y'all chemistry is going pretty well. This is your first year with Geno, so in his first year or second year?
Nah, it's his first year as or second year. No, it's his first year as a starting quarterback.
Okay,
He's been in the system in the system for a second, but it's his first year as a starting quarterback.
so yeah, this gives him. Geno is definitely balling. This gives him another year with Geno. I don't think we've already pretty much picked who Baker should probably go to, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I gave my 3 like the Tennessee Titans, who, like I said, I don't feel like Ryan Tannehill's that dude over there and stuff like that. So, yeah. He said Baker should go to the house. He should go to the house.
So, of course, if we do a little switch a little bit over into NBA just to have a little conversation about. Of course, there was 8 games last night played. We'll highlight a couple of them, but other 8 games, of course, you had the Milwaukee Bucks were able to get a 7-point win over the Orlando Magic, winning 109-102. The Boston Celtics got a W over Toronto, 116-110. The Miami Heat fell to the Memphis Grizzlies, 101-93. The Pacers get the victory over the Warriors, 112-104, in which Coach of Africa says Steph got cooked last night. The Mavericks get the win, 130-111. Let me see what was going on with that.
Did he get cooked last night?
31 from Newhart, 15 from Jalen Smith, Benedict Mathurin, 14 points, Buddy Hield, 17, 13 from O'Shea Brissett, 14. Klay Thompson had 28. Steph had 12. 23 from Jordan Poole, 10 from Kuminga DiVincenzo. I didn't watch the game last night, so I wasn't sure. But of course, in some instances, last night the Clippers did get their duel back as Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, as well as he was eating up. So he was eating last night. I had to go back and look. He said the kid from
That's
Gonzaga.
from Zaga. Oh yeah.
But like I said, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, even Luke Kennard came back last night and were able to salvage and get the win as the Clippers got a W, 119-117 over the Charlotte Hornets. The Clippers, 19 points from Paul George, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists from John Wall. Nicholas Batum, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Kawhi Leonard has 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists, including the go-ahead bucket as they get the win. Marcus Morris, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 9 points from Luke Kennard, 8 points from Terrence Mann, and Moses Brown had 8 points For the Hornets, who was a little shorthanded, 26 points from PJ Washington, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Mason Plumlee, 8 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 28 points. McKelly Oubre, 7 rebounds and 2 assists to go along. Terry Rozier contributed 2 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Nick Richards, a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 6 points from Bryce McGowens. Kai Jones, 2 points, 9 points from Jason McDaniels. And I think I said Plumlee already. As like you said, now the Clippers are now 14-11. After that W, Charlotte drops to 7-17. Who else was there? The Atlanta Hawks faced off against the Oklahoma City Thunder, in which it was a game in which Trey Young ended up getting into. I know Monday there was a situation to where I think Young didn't play in the game because there was a difference in opinion between him and Coach McDaniel, to where Trey Young had a soldier situation that he needed to get treated, and Coach McMillan was like, he can go get treated after the shoot around, and he can go treat through the walkthrough. Trey Young supposedly was like, I don't want to go through the walkthrough. I'm shoot around. I'm going to get treated now. Of course, Coach McDaniel supposedly has said that he's going to even do the shoot around, or he's not going to play altogether. And Trey Young decided he's not going to play altogether and missed the game. So, of course, it came back. Trey Young is like, he thought that was in-house business, in which should not have gotten out to the public, but it did. It is what it is. And then, of course, Coach McMillan said he would never sit up and tell a player that not to play. So, of course, they're dealing with it. As you see, Trey Young played last night, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 10 assists, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists from Dejounte Murray, 14 points, 16 rebounds from Clint Capella. Jalen Johnson contributed with 7 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. AJ Griffin, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 17 points from Bojan Bogdanovic. Culver with 9 points. That aided in Atlanta being close, but we're not able to get the game, as Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Josh Giddey were able to take care of business, helping Oklahoma City get the win, 121-114. SGA, as Coach Medea was talking about, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 35 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in their winning effort. 17 points from Josh Giddey, 10 points from Robinson Earl, 12 from Jalen Williams. Lou Dort contributed with 11 points, 10 rebounds. Dieng, 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. Again, Oklahoma currently just outside of 500, 2 games below 500, as they are 11-13 on the year. Atlanta 13-11 on the year with the loss. Who else we had? The 76ers and the Rockets. So, of course, James Harden's first game back in going to Houston, traveling to Houston. The 76ers show pulled up, but they couldn't get it taken care of, as Houston gets a W in double overtime, winning 132-123. And Houston 7-17 on the year. Philadelphia at 500 at 12-12. The 76ers led by Joel Embiid's 39 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. However, Embiid did foul out in the first overtime. Tobias Harris, 27 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. 21 points from James Harden, 4 rebounds and 76. But he also had 7 turnovers and was 4 of 19 shooting. So all his points, the majority of his points came from the line, as he was 9 for 11, I believe, from the field goal line for the charity stripe. Shake Milton, 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists from D'Anthony Melton. Daniel House, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. The Rockets, however, 27 points from Jalen Green, 24 points from Kevin Porter Jr., 18 points from Terry Eason, Kenyon Martin Jr., 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. 14 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists from Eric Gordon. Jabari Smith Jr., 16 points, 11 rebounds. Alperen Seguin, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. And as stated before, Houston was able to pull out the win in double overtime, sending James Harden back at the point where he came back to the first time since he's left Houston with the Philadelphia 76ers to get Houston to win. Uh, Tonight's games, of course, slated only 3 games. We have the Detroit Pistons taking on the Miami Heat. Traveling to Houston. I mean, to the Heat hosting the Detroit Pistons. The Cleveland Cavaliers hosting the Lakers are looking pretty good now. AD, as it was said earlier, AD is looking very MVP-esque for the most part. And the Mavericks will be traveling to Denver to take on the Nuggets as Bishop pulls up the schedule for tonight. Lakers currently 10-2 after the slow start, just 2 games below 500. The Cleveland Cavaliers 15-9 in their efforts to continue to apply pressure. Bishop, tonight's games, what would be your prediction if you was to give one?
I'm definitely picking. I gotta give the Lakers the win. They're definitely on a high streak. Didn't your boy AD not drop 55 points? Only 7 Lakers have done.
2 nickels.
Yeah, double nickel. Only 7 Lakers have done that in the franchise history, and he's one of them. And this is the guy you want to get rid of. Just want to put that out there. I'm just saying, 55 as a center, and that's only 2. I think it's only 2 Lakers that's done it that was centers, and that's him and Shaq. But anywho, just saying. Then I'm gonna take the Heat over Detroit, even though that's gonna be a real good game. And then Dallas and the 2 Germans, the Joker and your bench guy,
Luka. He's not with me. He's not a bench guy. He's your bench guy. Oh well, yeah. He is my bench guy. He's your cut guy.
He's my cut guy.
He's your cut guy. Yeah,
he's my cut guy. But yeah, they playing in Denver too, bro. I think I'm gonna take Denver. I think I'm gonna take the Nuggets, man, at home, only because they playing at home.
I think I would go with Miami, of course, LA, and I'm sticking with the Mavericks right now.
Okay.
So a couple of other things that when you said that you made me think about something. I was like, I had to go look. So first and foremost, what we accept and bring up is unfortunately, it has been stated that Kyrie Irving and Nike have formally parted ways. Kyrie Irving will no longer be a part of the Nike family and or a supported endorsement. Interesting enough, Kyrie became the 20th NBA player to secure a signature shoe from Nike, which happened in 2014, 3 years after he signed at the rookie. Kyrie has had the second leading nuclear shoe brand with Nike since 4 active players, of course, LeBron being the top one. 68% of the NBA wears Nike, in which per the kick stats, 68% of players 60. In the NBA wear Nike, in which per the kickstats.com's count, 164 players wear Kyrie 7s. And then there's dozens of others that wear that sport the later models for Kyrie. Of course, what was supposed to happen was Kyrie was supposed to come out about 2 weeks ago with his Kyrie 8 line. Of course, due to the situation with the with him being suspended for that short time and his comments, they canceled that launch, and it was not going to happen. Basically, they went ahead and severed it, which the Nike founder, Mr. Knights, basically said he was okay with that. Presumably, it's a mutual separation. After it's announced that they separated, of course, Kyrie Irving had his own comment in which he stated that anyone who has ever spent their hard-earned money on anything I have ever released, I consider you family, and we are forever connected. It's time to show how powerful we are as a community. Now, hearing that, I ask you, Bishop, what do you think is next for Kyrie when it comes to shoes endorsement? What do you think is coming up? Who do you think he potentially go to next, or what do you think the move can be potentially?
So because of what all the stuff that's going on with Kyrie and for past couple of seasons, I don't know who he could possibly go to next because I think a lot of them will be saying to themselves, "This is a risk take." What's going on, Irma? How you doing? Nice. Glad you could join us this morning. It's a risk take. So I don't know. To be honest with you, I have no idea who and one. That may be, but in one day shoes, I don't even know if people even wear those anymore. Are you basically saying trying to put them back on the map? What is this fly come out of nowhere? Just um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Adidas will take a chance on it. I don't know if Puma, not Under Armour, any of them would take a chance on it. So we'd have to see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I wish Kyrie the best of luck though. I do wish Kyrie the best of luck, but I just don't know who would take that chance. He might come up with his own brand. Maybe he'll do his own brand or something like
And
that.
that's what I was thinking. I think that would be more so
I think, yeah.
where he at. Him maybe coming out with his own brand, in which I think that comment could more so lead to like, you know what, I want to strike out on my own and do
Mhm.
something in which I believe I see the standard say and one.
I
Uh,
said that, but and one ain't been nothing in years.
I mean, but can he
He could bring it
reinvigorate
back.
that? You know what I'm
He could
saying?
bring it
And
back.
what
He could go to Reebok maybe.
yeah,
Try to put
Reebok,
Reebok back on the map.
Puma,
Now I said
uh
Puma, Adidas, which that's Under Armour, which we know Kyrie's on Under Armour. I mean not Kyrie, Curry.
Steph, yeah.
Steph is on Under Armour. I don't know. Maybe he can go to British Knights. Bring British Knights back on.
Pro kids, and
Somebody
here we
said
go.
pro.
Andre being a comedian, but I mean, never
Some
know.
K
Pro kids.
Swiss. Maybe he launched, jump on K Swiss. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But let me show you all this, man. This is what it would look like if the preseason or if the finals was playing. We was going into the standings. That is your Western Conference right now through Game 5 or through games through December the 5th. I mean, sorry, that's the Western. That's the Eastern Conference. So Trey was telling you about the records where they stand. See my Brooklyn down there at number 6, bro, in the playoffs right now. In the playoffs.
Don't
But
have to
how
worry
we
about
start?
a champ. What's called right now. Wouldn't have to
Uh,
worry about play in there. Just be
we be in automatically. Everybody else would be in the play. But it's crazy. I think I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna save this and for later on down the line. See how drastic of a change it'll be. As you see, the Lakers are in the 13th spot. They're not even in the play-in right now. They're 3 games, 2 teams behind, 2 teams in front of them, and even to get into the play-in.
yeah, game and a half out of the 10th spot right
Yep.
now.
Yep. So with that being said, like I said, and look who's at 10, barely in right now. Golden State, barely in the play-in. With Phoenix over there running away right now. Phoenix in. Are we surprised about New Orleans being number 2?
No, I've been said that New Orleans is going to start to be a problem, and that's what they're showing it. But again, we're only what's that 22 games into the season. Still, that's
Yeah.
40 games. Still 40 games to go.
Yeah.
A lot could change.
Oh, a whole lot. That's why I said I'm thinking I'm gonna save it in Converse. I said that down. You still talking about Kyrie? I said that Converse. And it's a few brands out there, but Kyrie, knowing Kyrie, he'll probably come up with his own. I don't. That's what I see happening. But man, shouts out to Kyrie. Good luck on whatever he chooses to do.
What else was it? Oh, additionally, Draymond Green had a conversation in
Mm-hmm.
which he was talking about some things in which Draymond gave per TNT interview, he gave what he see as his top 5 NBA players of all time. Top 5
Mm.
as he did uninterrupted. He was doing an interview with Uninterrupted on the show Throwing Bones, where they played dominoes while having conversation. At number 5, Draymond had Shaquille O'Neal. At number 4, his teammate, Steph Curry. At number 3, Kobe Bryant. Number 2, Michael Jordan. And at number 1, LeBron James. And so if you watch the interview, you can even see where Draymond he gives his rhetoric. He basically talked about did Michael Jordan beat the greatest assembled team of all time? He talks about how many times Michael Jordan went to a consecutive playoff run. He discussed how, of course, Michael Jordan got 3 left and came back and got another 3. And some other things, in which, if you, depending on where you sit on the line, you can sit and maybe be like, okay, I hear Draymond. And other times you could be like, man, Draymond, stop playing. In any case, Bishop, what do you think of Draymond's top 5?
1 is wrong. So 1 is definitely wrong. I don't know where he got that from. So push 2 over the 1. Push 3 over the 2.
Oh,
I get 3 over the 2.
I don't know what to say. I just see that it's 3 Lakers on his list. That's all I can say. It's 3 Lakers on his list.
Ain't he from California?
Draymond, no, he's from Michigan.
That's where he played at. I thought he was from California, though.
No, he's from Michigan.
Is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 1 shouldn't be there for sure. Definitely shouldn't be there. But Draymond probably do things like, he do stuff like that to be controversial and anything. And now it's going to be a whole story about Draymond and his choice of best NBA players of all time. A whole story. I mean, it is what it is.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
That part.
Came up just in the nick of time, as that's our time for today. Of course, saying we're all back in present again. No more trips, presumably, right now, at least for the next 2 weeks.
I
no
got
more
trips.
crossings. Oh, you got trips? You got more trips?
Yeah, I go to whatchamacallit. I leave out Thursday, going to Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I go to Colorado from Thursday to Monday.
Please feel free, Irma. Share it away. We are here every Monday through Friday for the most part. 09 to 1100 hours. That's 7 to 9 Pacific Standard Time. 10 to 12 Eastern Standard Time.
Absolutely.
Always, welcome to anyone sharing, so we can, of course, always talk about. There's nothing that we leave that we're not willing to talk about. It's been a good day. I guess coming back, I can get back to work. Even though like you said, Bishop said, like my weekend didn't go as planned, but I'm back to work. Maybe work that has something for me as we get ready for our intramural basketball season to start coming up. And do some more planning. So it's all good to look at what I'm going to do for the upcoming holiday. In any case, do some planning. Got some planning to do for our next crossing as our part of that. So that's my thing. My next thing, a really big thing to get part of, is to make sure it's secure, everything that's supposed to be secure, and get that rolling along for our next line coming up.
Man, y'all don't want to miss it. If you have an opportunity to come check us out, I'm telling y'all, we the life of the party. Y'all might want to come check us out.
What we do sturdily have a cup that's still going on that they could be a part of
is that raffle.
The raffle. We
still got 4 days left.
Still, except December 10th.
Yep.
That morning, about 10th. Is it 10th? Yeah, the 10th morning of the 10th is when we announce the winner. So get your opportunity to get in to that raffle. Get an opportunity to win. What was elusive? Still a little bit elusive. PlayStation 5 for yourself, a loved one. Donate it. Do whatever you want with it. Get an opportunity to win, along with a couple other things: a TV, a sound bar. You might win all 3. You never know. Stranger things have happened. You can go to the Cyro 5 Military Incorporated Facebook page, or myself and Bishop's respective personal pages, to where you can see it Instagram, Cyro 5's Instagram page, to where you can see how to enter, or just hit us up directly, and we'll make sure you get squared away. Cash App, credit card, whichever, you know what I'm saying, different methods. Anything else, brother, before we get up out of here?
Oh, man, that's pretty much it, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to First Formation, as we always try to come to you with the information in regards to all sports. Make sure to check us out Monday through Friday, as my co-host said, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for you civilian personnel, and that's 09 to 1100 hours for you military personnel. We thank y'all.
USA got to do better in the World Cups.
That part, they do. They really do. They did. They had everybody on the high the other day when they won that one game and didn't.
And then pull that USC. In any case,
I don't know about that, but anyway.
Caleb, shout out. I'm saying it like I said earlier.
Won't win.
Philadelphia won't, but Caleb, early appreciation on your. Congratulations on your Heisman Trophy. Bring another one home to USC.
His what? No. Max to the max.
Day of the Roku.
Max to the max. Cyro 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated. We're going to holler at y'all. Peace. Roll fight.
See y'all tomorrow. Check.